Welcome back to Suzuka, where we have David Greco in the pits now. Has he done enough to be a factor in this race? Because he started in 9th place, he's had a longer strategy than some of the others, 17 laps of fuel going into his car, and let's see where he exits now as he comes down the pit lane. And, well, he's run a longer strategy, as I say. Will this put him into contention? He's going to come out, I think, in 3rd position. So an excellent race strategy there for David Greco. His team on Bolia battling with Tramoslika again. This is the battle for 8th, so the last points paying position coming through the 130R. We're on board with Bolia right up the slipstream there, and possibly a little bit of touching as they come down into the chicane. Bolia makes the move up the inside, runs a tiny bit wide, but I think he's going to make that move stick, and indeed Tramoslika hasn't got a very good run out of the chicane, so a good move there from Bolia, but we've seen how much slipstreams can play a role in today's racing, but Tramoslika isn't close enough to catch up. He wasn't at turn 1 anyway. Let's see how he can fare at the 130R, and Bolia having to go defensive. Tramoslika looks to the outside, brakes very late. Bolia comes across, and, well, no messing around from Team on Bolia there. He is not giving up that 8th position. Here's Joachim Bengtsson. We saw him battling earlier on, but he's having a fairly quiet race after his battling with Keersmakers down the start-finish straight earlier on today, but he's running well in 5th position as race leader Roy Colby comes in for his final pit stop. Only 14 laps of fuel going in, and away he goes, and let's see, he should still come out in the lead of the race, and he does, but he's got quite a reduced advantage over the guys behind him because of that time he lost behind David Greco earlier in the race. Tramoslika and Bolia again at it through the 130R. Tramoslika's through. Bolia's very, very wide on the exit, but fortunately for him it's tarmac there nowadays, so no time lost, and he's still right up behind Tramoslika as they exit down onto the start-finish straight. Will Bolia be able to pick up enough of a slipstream? Tramoslika considered going defensive. And here's Jaakko Miekkinen now. Miekkinen and Hurl are now battling for 3rd position, and Miekkinen getting the cut back, and well, in fact they're both in the pits now. Here we go. Let's see if one can take advantage of the other. That was the battle for 1st and 2nd, sorry, I apologise. It will ultimately, I think, become the battle for 3rd. As Miekkinen pulls away. Where's Hurl? There is Hurl at the end of the pits, pulling away now, and Hurl holds on to the position just about, but it's mighty close between these two, as it has been all day. And Bengtsson coming out behind them, but they've both lost out to David Greco in the pit stops, as Laurent Keersmakers comes into the pits as the leaders go through. There is Hurl and Miekkinen, and then Joachim Bengtsson. So David Greco then up into 2nd position after starting in 9th. So his strategy really is paying off as Keersmakers exits the pit lane now. Tristan Bayliss is on fire, coming through the Dunlop corner, and that is the end of the race for Tristan Bayliss. 10 laps to go. Obviously too aggressive on the boost, or not running big enough radiator, and that is a retirement. Here's a replay coming through the S's, up through the Dunlop curve now, and there's the fire, and there is the end of Tristan Bayliss' race. Jaakko Miekkinen and Dennis Hurl once again battling everything they have, throwing themselves at this race, exiting down the start-finish straight. We've seen so many moves between these two today down into turn 1. Are we about to see another? Hurl goes defensive, Miekkinen looks to the outside and holds on around the outside, and in fact I think he's got enough momentum. No, Hurl, yes, Miekkinen is through. Miekkinen through into 3rd place, and Hurl down to 4th. Up through the S's. Hurl, no doubt, will try and get past through. He's going to have a look up the inside just to let Miekkinen know he's there. I'm pretty sure Miekkinen's aware of Hurl's presence. Hurl has been there all day as Miekkinen comes through the spoon curve and gets very sideways, and Dennis Hurl is through. An uncharacteristic, I think that's Miekkinen's 2nd mistake of the day actually, after he ran wide at Degner earlier. Miekkinen has just cost himself 3rd position potentially. How quickly will he be able to catch up with Dennis Hurl. We've only got 4 laps to go, and that could be a costly mistake from Jarkko Mykkänen as they come through the chicane and down onto the start-finish straight. And this is a battle between Paul Taylor and one of the Ash Racing cars as they come down into the chicane. Taylor looks to the inside. It's Blair Disley, and Disley's gone all the way around the outside, and Taylor holds onto it, but the back end's gone. The back end's gone. Taylor's in the wall. It's a big shunt and a bit of a bizarre shunt there. I wasn't expecting to see a crash there, but Paul Taylor has managed it. 2 laps to go. Dennis Hurl out in front of Jarkko Mykkänen. Mykkänen surely is too far behind now. And, well, no, in fact, they looked pretty close together as they came through the chicane. And here they are. Mykkänen has got a slipstream as they start the final lap. Starting the final lap now is Roy Colby. And into turn 1 and 2 they come. This is going to be a last-ditch manoeuvre from one of them. I'd imagine if anything's going to happen. We're on board now with Jarkko Mykkänen. Exiting, we've seen him all day, quick, down this back straight, through 130R and into the final chicane. But he looks a little bit too far away from Hurl at this point as they come through 130R and down into the chicane. He's picked up a little bit of a slipstream, but the back end's gone in this collision. He's hit off Dennis Hurl and his front wing's gone. He got a wheel on the grass and spun into the back, but meanwhile Roy Colby wins the race, and Greco will finish in second, Hurl will finish in third, and Mykkänen comes across the line in 4th position with no front wing after that mistake. Bengtsson has come home in 5th place. And what an exciting final few laps. What an exciting entire Grand Prix. The top 6 was separated by less than 8 seconds at the end there. But it's Roy Colby who wins the race. Greco, like I say, finished in second. Hurl and Mykkänen, after a race-long battle, it's Dennis Hurl who comes out on top. Bengtsson finished 5th, and second-place man Bono Huish finished in 6th position. Only 11 people finished the race. Dale Carrick finishing 2 laps down. And there are all the retirements. And so, in the Drivers' Championship, Roy Colby is now 111 points clear of Dennis Hurl going into the final round. So I think that means that Roy Colby is the Drivers' World Champion. In the Constructors' Championship, well, Twister have got it. They've absolutely obliterated the field this season, and full deserves to them. Thank you for watching this Japanese Grand Prix, and we'll see you for the next race in Canada.